Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to share a first look and page through of The One Ring, Moria, through the Doors of Durin from Free League Publishing. This is written by Gareth Hanrahan, and this 228-page hardcover arrives August 1st. It's going to carry an MSRP of $44.99. It is not available in PDF just yet, but I will take a guess that DriveThru RPG will carry this for approximately $22.99, maybe $24.99. All that said, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Moria through the Doors of Durin. A few things I want to mention before we jump on in. First of all, my friends over at Free League Publishing were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. But neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's very important you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of this book, but I do want to give you a good feel for what you're going to find inside this Moria source book. Lastly, I don't know if there's any adventure content in here. For some strange reason, I don't think there is. But just in case, if you are a player and it looks like we are encountering some adventure materials, I will mention that because, to be honest, you'll probably want to tune out then because you don't want surprises of playing the One Ring Moria ruined simply because you were watching this video. All right, so let's take a look at the back here. A king was on carven throne in many pillared halls of stone with golden roof and silver floor and runes of power upon the door. For long ages, the great city of the dwarven Delph was the seat of dwarven kings. Deep they delved beneath the roots of the mountains in search of mithril, the fabled Moria silver. Wonders they wrought there by the light of crystal lamps. But 1,000 years ago, Durin's bane arose and drove the dwarves from their halls. The city fell into darkness, becoming an abode of orcs, goblins, and worse. No harp is rung, no hammer falls. The darkness dwells in Durin's halls. The shadow lies upon his tomb in Moria and caused doom. But now there is hope. Countless orcs perished at the Battle of Five Armies, and it may be the halls of Durin lie empty once more, waiting to be reclaimed by those with the courage to face the long dark under the mountain. Maybe there are piles of treasure there waiting to be claimed. Maybe mithril still glimmers in the mines under Karatharas. Cross the dread threshold adventure and delve deep. Moria Through the Doors of Durin is a supplement for The One Ring, the official tabletop role-playing game based on the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. Set in the years before Belin's doomed expedition, this supplement contains a horde of patrons, landmarks, foes, encounters, and treasures that a lore master can use to construct their own adventures in Moria, from a single desperate journey in the dark to a grand campaign to retake Durin's halls. Nice. I know a lot of people are very excited about this book. It just arrived today. So as soon as it showed up, I popped on down here to the Duct Tape Studios to share it with you. So, of course, we've got our credits page. So we'll take a moment here, make sure that we give credit where credit is due, because a lot of folks worked very hard to bring Moria to the masses. Should also mention, if you are a fan of the Lord of the Rings role-playing, then the Moria book for that system, i.e. 5e, is also going to be releasing on August 1st. So we're going to have an introduction. Then we've got At the Gates, The Trumpets Rang, Journeys in the Dark, Fell Foes, The Mansions of the Dwarves. Then we have solo play as well. Very nice. So jumping on in. So we're going to start off. It looks like we're going to have an overview of Moria, the city and the mines. And at the gates, the trumpets rang. A key question Is this to be a quick excursion into Moria or a series of expeditions? A single adventure in Moria emphasizes the horror and danger of the dark underground domain, plunging the player heroes into a labyrinth of unlikely perils and makes the experience so harrowing that they swear never to return. A longer expedition, like Balin's attempt to reclaim the realm, needs to take a slower, more measured approach and pay more attention to the physical geography and factions within the city. One adventure might involve discovering a long-lost secret entrance into Moria or forcing a route through the ruins to a particular gate. The next adventure builds on that success, pushing deeper and deeper into the ruins. So we get information about the campaign focus, searching for Mithril, the perilous path, seeking vengeance, questing for ring lore. This looks really cool. Yeah, it looks like we've got a couple of bookmarks here. The elves, middlemen, and hobbits, giving us a breakdown of different factions. Running Moria. Moria is not a fortress of the enemy like Barad-dûr or Minas Morgul. It is not a dungeon brimming with traps and monsters. There are traps and monsters here, but for the most part, Moria is empty. It is a ruined city, endless and bleak. The air heavy with melancholic gloom. Exploring Moria is not a madcap adventure that bounces from one weird encounter to another. For the most part, it is a cold march through a dark place, silent and lonely as a grave. Fear and gloom should be the campaign's dominant moods. Sweet. And I'm sure we will see quite a bit of line art that the One Ring, as well as the Lord of the Rings role-playing series, are well known for. Here we've got Journeys in the Dark. When the company enters Moria with the intention of reaching a known location, a landmark shown on the map, for example, or to travel through the ruins to exit the opposite way, then the lore master must apply the following adaptation of the journey rules. So here we've got some new options, or I should say variations, of the journey rules. Describing Moria, drums in the deep. Got some random tables such as Terrors of the Dark. Appearance table. Shunned, unfinished, ancient, homely, elven, fortified. It's kind of cool. You roll the 12-sided die because if you're not familiar with the One Ring, it uses 6-sided dice and 12-sided dice. Those are the dice that are utilized for the role-playing game. And it is a really great adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's works. The One Ring second edition is really, really well done, as was the first edition, too. So here we've got Fell Foes. So it looks like this might become kind of a bestiary here. So we've got our orcs. So we've got orcs of Moria and orcs of Mordor. Cave bats, marrow eaters. Those are pretty big cave bats there. The mansions of the dwarves. I'm going to take a guess this is going to actually describe more of the living space. Moria is vast and ancient. The first tentative carving of stone was made thousands of years ago, and the work continued up until Durin's bane awoke. The dwarves, of course, esteem tradition and the ways of their forefathers, but they are also cunning and innovative. As the skill of the dwarves grew, and especially after they discovered Mithril and had the friendship of the elves of Holland, their ambition increased in lockstep, and they built ever more wonderful palaces in the caves. I do believe we're going to find a map of Moria that is included with the book. So I think we're going to start getting at some landmarks. Here we go. Old Moria, the first hall. We've got the layout there, and it is keyed for the different locations. So these are probably utilized as encounters that a lore master can build into their homebrew adventures. Love the artwork. I really, really do. And the cartography is cool too. Bit of a 3D layout, a little bit. So we got the mountains of Moria, the Redhorn Gates. So quite a few locales here. The Great West Cave. And it appears that each of these areas has got a rumor attached with it. The Doors of Durin. I should say that the font is a little small when we see the red print. Not terribly small, but when you have older eyes like mine, it becomes a little more difficult to distinguish that text. I mean, I can still read it. So we got the Ledge of Woe. It appears the majority of the page count is devoted to these landmarks. Foundations of Stone. Then we get an appendix. Here's Balin's Expedition. Some information if you want to play that, you want to create adventures for that. I too once passed the Dimril Gate. Both Gandalf the Grey and Aragorn entered Moria long before the events narrated in The Lord of the Rings. Neither of their journeys happened around 2965, but a game might include references to Gandalf's expedition, and a long-running campaign might incorporate Aragorn's abortive journey. A magical treasure index for Moria with marvelous artifacts and wondrous items. Here we've got solo play. Shared callings. So it appears we've got some new player character options there. Planning a mission. I believe this is still all in the solitaire play section. Undertaking missions. Yep. Solo tools. So this is still the solitaire section here. Fortune and ill fortune tables. Your actions catch the eye of the enemy. Increase eye awareness by 2. You gain favor with an ally. Enemies run afoul of danger. An old injury or stress resurfaces. We've got milestones. How many adventure points and skill points that those will be worth. I'm looking forward to diving on in. And I will tell you right now, there will be a review prior to this hitting stores on August 1st. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right, then we've got our index. Looks like a journey chart or kind of a sheet for you to track the journey. This is probably for the solitaire play because it looks as if this might be for your band. Because I think you create a band in solitaire play. I'm not overly familiar with the solitaire play of the One Ring. I'll be the first to point that out. Aha, here's our map. See what we got. Dual-sided? Maybe. Yes, this is going to be dual-sided. Well, this is cool. So this actually is kind of a play aid as well. And then we have a map here. Is this showing us some of those landmarks? Possibly. I don't think it has many of them on there, though. All right, so this is the map. Nice thick paper stock as well, so that's very cool. And of course, we get the map here on the end papers. We've got it up front too, I believe. Yes, we do. All right, so that is a look inside the One Ring Moria through the Doors of Durin from Free League Publishing. As I mentioned, of course, I will have a review of Moria in the very near future. All right, this is coming out August 1st, carries an MSRP of $44.99. If you order from Free League Publishing, you will receive the PDF absolutely free. All right, thank you very much for stopping on by for this first look. That's it for this time out. If you liked the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this first look, it'll also inform you when my live show, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, streams right here on YouTube Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit gaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. And until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.